Hello, this is Rick Gomes, LFT with Stone Ridge Counseling Services. Today's video is going to be on affair discovery. For anyone who has recently discovered an affair, this can be a very chaotic, troubling, difficult time with a lot of emotions going on. It's all very personal, and nobody can really know exactly what's happening for you. As you go through this process and try to figure out what are you going to do, and do I want to try to save this relationship? Do I want to try to work with this other person in this relationship? Do we want to seek help? Do we want to try to figure out how to manage this on our own? There's so many things to figure out, to have to go through on that. From a sort of treatment standpoint, there are certainly, arguments to be made for the sooner you can try and get some help, the better. I've certainly seen that, and I've worked with that, and sometimes that can be helpful because you are not ending up in a situation in which a couple has tried to manage it themselves. There's been ongoing time and process, maybe months have gone by, maybe a whole year has gone by with them trying to recover and sort and figure things out, and yet things are still very difficult and challenging for them. That doesn't necessarily mean that's everybody that has that happen to them. And this is not just a pure advocacy for, getting help straight off. There can be certain room here for people who then, I need to take some time to sit here and go, maybe I need to figure out if this is what I really want to do versus just reacting, and whether or not the partner is saying, oh no, don't leave, or maybe even if it seems like they don't care, but you don't want to lose the relationship, it still leaves this sort of split situation in which you're running into couples therapy, trying to figure something out before there's a whole lot of clarity. Not to say that that's going to be a magic thing that happens in the beginning anyways, and you're going to just magically know, like, oh, this is exactly what I want to do. For a lot of people, they go through this path with a bit of ambivalence and struggling with, like, okay, yeah, I want to try. No, I don't want to do this anymore. It can be very challenging. I would say the gold standard for me personally, that's what I consider, is the piece that sits there and says a couple has individual people as well. So both partners have an individual therapist so they can work on understanding what's happening for themselves outside of the couple's work. That can be very beneficial. It can leave a larger venting space. It can leave a larger space for dealing with traumas and histories and all these other details. And for the person who's done it, trying to really figure out the why this happened, there'll always be an easy, quick why. That's typically not going to be probably the underlying causation of some of these behaviors. So that would be a gold standard piece. So I think one of the things here is regardless, is this is something that does require a bit of time to kind of sit there and go, okay, wait, what do I want to do? And you need individual support, not just a couple's piece. That would be sort of my position on things. When I have people and they both have individuals, it is much more helpful and much more productive to kind of be able to do that. And because there's that outside resource and we can pull on those pieces, and they have another avenue or a stage in which they can just focus on themselves and get all that primary attention. And then we can work on the recovery piece with the dynamics between the couple, the communication aspects that have been there historically, how to help process the trauma that's taken place, how the partner can now change and be helpful for the healing process, and really try to get perspective on things. So when you can focus better on that with the recovery piece, then that sort of makes that process go a little bit better. So at the end of the day, for anybody who has made a recent discovery, I think some of the major points there is to, first of all, take a breath and sit here and go, okay, well, there are some options. Nobody's going to say what you need or do, or certainly people can say that, but at the end of the day, it's your decision what you want to do. And I would sort of put out there that, like, hey, sometimes getting some individual help for yourself may actually be a first course, a first point of direction, and then adjunctly the couples therapy, if that can be managed. Certainly you can do couples therapy without having the individual part. Some of this turns into a cost issue for couples. Most insurances will cover individuals rather easily. Couples sometimes can be a little bit more of a challenge, whether you have certain amounts and limitations, things like that. And of course, we know fee-based can be very difficult to manage because that could turn into a lot of money for a couple trying to recover from this. So these are some of the things to consider. And I will continue to add some more different nuanced videos here around this aspect. This is just part one of sort of like, hey, you've made a discovery, and wow, what's going to happen and what do we do from here? Okay. So hey, at least thank you for stopping by, and hopefully this has been helpful or beneficial to you in some form or fashion. Okay. So hopefully you can come back again and see some more videos that can hopefully help you again. All right. So thanks again. This is Rick Gomes, LMFT with Stone Ridge Counseling Services. Bye-bye.